How's it going, everybody? CJ here, back with another video. We're doing another first thoughts today. This first thoughts is on Beledros Witherbloom, the last Elder Dragon, but not the last one that I've done a video on because I haven't done a couple of them. Because a couple of them don't seem that great. But we're going to hop in this in just a second. Remember, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Like this video. Comment down below what you're doing with Beledros. Down in the description, we got the Twitch, we got the Twitter, we got the Patreon if you want to support the channel. You can also support the channel through the TCG Player affiliate link down below. We also got a link to my Pokemon channel that I'm about to start a new Let's Play on, so help me choose my starter. Also, just a heads up for you guys, we're changing the logo pretty soon. It's going to look pretty much the same, except it's going to be slightly different details, and it's going to be a black background. So it's going to look like this. It's going to look like this. Also, we got a new playmat. There's going to be a giveaway, but not until we hit 1,000 subs. So let's get to that 1,000 subs mark. Woo! All right, let's hop into this. So, Beledros Witherbloom. This card's sweet. It's got two very powerful abilities. Being able to create a token during each upkeep. Not just yours, each upkeep. And also 10 life to untap all lands you control with the clause of only once each turn. Also, each turn, so that means in your opponent's turn as well, so you can throw in a lot of instants and stuff, so that way you can cast stuff during your opponent's turn. But this is good. This commander is very, very powerful and has a lot of potential. So some of the cards that synergize very well with this include like Seedborn Muse, because that way you don't have to pay 10 life. You got Bear Umbra, Sword of Feast and Famine, so that way if you attack, you can untap for free. And Wilderness Wreck, so your end step you can untap. All those seem like great includes. Then you also got token doublers, because you're going to be making a token each upkeep. You might as well make two. So why not throw in Doubling Season, Parallel Lives, and Primal Vigor. You can also add to the tokens with stuff like Verdant Force and Tender Shoot Dryad, which also make tokens each upkeep. Seems like a good include there. And you can use these tokens for an aristocrats style deck. So this is yet another aristocrats commander from the Strixhaven set. The Strixhaven set has got a lot of good aristocrats commanders. So this one's in Golgari. So you're going to want to run sack outlets, including stuff like Ashnod's Altar, Phyrexian Altar. You've got Altar of Dementia. You can throw in Yawgmoth. There's a lot of stuff. And like there's Viscera Seer, another great one. Just run them all. Seems like they're gonna be good in the deck, especially because you're making tokens every upkeep that have death triggers that are beneficial to you. So seems good. Also, you can really pump up those death triggers by throwing in stuff like Blood Artist, Zulaport Cutthroat, Falconwrath Noble, Sir Conrad the Grim, Vindictive Vampire, and Bastion of Remembrance. All of those make it so your opponents will lose a life and you gain a life. So and the end result is when you kill a pest, you're gaining 2 life and your opponents are all losing a life, or one opponent's losing a life, depending on the card. But very, very good there. Also, you can add in the stuff that makes it so whenever you gain life, your opponents lose life. So that way you can really capitalize on these pests using cards like Sanguine Bond, the newly spoiled Dina Soul Steeper. You've got Veto, and if you're running these cards, you might... Oh, and also Marauding Blight Priest. And if you're running these cards, you might as well run Exquisite Blood as well, because infinite combo, win the game. You're going to be running all these aristocrat-style cards. You could also run cards like Midnight Reaper and Moldavine Reclamation, so you can draw extra cards. You can run Pawn of Ulamog and Sifter of Skulls, so you can make tokens. Same thing with Ogre Slumlord. And you can run Pitiless Plunderer, so that way you can make treasures. But Pawn of Ulamog and Sifter of Skulls, Pawn of Ulamog I think is definite. I don't think either of them work for token creatures. Neither of them work for token creatures, but they're still good inside an aristocrat style deck. Next up, the second ability does have a clause of only once each turn, but being able to untap your lands more than once each turn could lead to some crazy shenanigans. So some ways you can get around that include sacrificing Beledros and reanimating him. You can use cards like Journey to Eternity, which is reanimation on a land, since you're going to be untapping lands. That seems pretty relevant. You can use Nim Deathmantle, which is a very powerful card in this deck. And you can use cards like Kaya's Ghost Form or Demonic Gifts. That way when it dies, it just returns straight back. All those seem like great includes. Also, your command is 7 mana. Your commander is going to be 7 mana here. So you're going to want to run a lot of ramp. And so you're going to want to be able to have big spells that you can dump that mana into. Especially if you're untapping and everything. Like say you got seven lands in play and you play your commander. Next turn, you tap 7 mana. You pay 10 life. Untap all your lands. Tap 7 mana. Then you can cast Torment of Hailfire for a lot of mana. Like cards like these will just win the game. Torment of Hailfire and Exsanguinate and similar cards all seem very powerful in this deck. You can also throw in Cabal Coffers and Urborgs. That way you can make a lot of extra mana. And it's also lands, and he untaps them, so it's even more mana. And you can throw in Rings of Brighthearth, Lithoform Engine, and Illusionist Bracers, so that way you can double this trigger. So that way you just literally make double mana. Like, you'll be able to instead have, if you have 7 lands in play, you'll be able to make 21 mana if you have Illusionist Bracers on your commander here. That seems fantastic. And now some one-off cards that I think will be very powerful in this deck. You've got Savra, Golgari, Queen of the Golgari. This card seems super good because pests happen to be black and green creature tokens. So, if you sacrifice a black creature, you can pay 2 life, and each opponent sacrifices a black creature. So, if you sacrifice a pest to Ashnod's Altar, and then also, whenever you sacrifice a green creature, you gain 2 life. So if you sack a pest to Ashnod's Altar with Savra in play, then you're going to gain 3 life, 2 from Savra, 1 from the pest, and you can use that 2 mana from Ashnod's Altar to make all your opponents sacrifice a creature. That seems like a very, very powerful synergy. Similar synergy with Dictate of Erebos, Butcher of Malakir, Grave Pact. All those also seem very good in this deck. You can use Essence Warden just to gain a lot of extra life. You got a token entering every upkeep. It's a really easy way to just gain a lot of life. And I think, actually... Oh, is it whenever a creature enters? Another creature... Yeah, so it also triggers off your opponent. So it's a good way to keep your life total high. You're going to need a healthy life total, so that way you can activate Beledros more often to untap your lands. And Essence Warden seems like a good way to do it because, I mean, you're gaining at minimum 4 life each turn cycle just from your pests entering. Not including your opponent's playing creatures or you playing creatures. Seems great in the deck. You got Villis, Broker of Blood. If you activate Beledros with Villis in play, you lose 10 life, draw 10 cards, untap your lands. That's powerful. Ashaya, Soul of the Wild, turns all your creatures into forests. So Beledros will untap your creatures. That seems very relevant. Vidalcan Orrery, you can untap Beledros, or you can untap your lands in each of your opponent's turns too. So if you have Beledros and a way to keep your life total healthy, then you can just untap during your opponent's upkeep, or during your opponent's turns, and just start casting stuff during their turn as well very easily with Vidalcan Orrery. And then the last card I want to talk about is Grismold, because Grismold seems pretty decent in this deck. Your end step, each player creates a 1/1 plant, and whenever a creature token dies, Grismold gets bigger. So you're going to make a very big Grismold very quickly, and it also gives you token generation. And yeah, I believe that is everything I have for Beledros Witherbloom. Very, very exciting new commander. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, everybody.